Hello, race fans. Welcome back to Freaky Fast Broadcasting as we are here for round number 9 of the Underdog Racing League Truck Series here at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. As these drivers are just starting to enter qualifying here. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in to Freaky Fast as always. I'm Zach Hall up in the booth. But first, before we get into the race here tonight, we need to give a special shout out to all the sponsors that help make it happen here at Freaky Fast Broadcasting. So we want to definitely give a shout out to ButtKicker. Feel what you've been missing. Every game deserves a truly immersive experience. The ButtKicker Gamer 2 lets you feel every detail, from subtle footsteps to the rumble of a V10 powered race car, from ambient environmental effects to the power of a nearby explosion. By moving physical mass instead of only air, the Gamer 2 provides instant, accurate, powerful base response, and it's all perfectly synced with every game, no additional software required. So make sure you go to ButtKicker.com and check out what they have in store for you there, and you can feel what you've been missing. As ButtKicker is a great partner here at Freaky Fast Broadcasting, as we can also use Freaky Fast 20 to get 20% off on any purchase at ButtKicker.com, and that's Freaky with 2 E's, Freaky Fast 20. You can also go to our Freaky Fast Broadcasting Facebook page, and there you will see a giveaway going on for a ButtKicker LFE at the moment. Over 14,000 entries right now in that giveaway, so make sure you go get entered into that, as it's nearing the end of that giveaway. So you can win yourself a ButtKicker LFE, and you can really feel what you've been missing. So definitely going to check that out, as we are a proud partner of ButtKicker here at Freaky Fast Broadcasting. Well, everybody, thank you for tuning in. As like I said earlier, we are here round number 9 at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway of the Underdog Racing League Truck Series here, as these guys are in qualifying. Remember, I'm Zach Hall up in the booth calling the shots, and we'll have Robert Moyer up here running the cameras, giving us all the sights and sounds. And also glad to have up here in Las Vegas. So I gotta say, this is a special place for this guy. He loves this place. As every time we come here, he's always riled up. It's Lee Tidwell joining me in the booth tonight. How you doing, Lee?
You know, we're in Vegas, as you said. I'm very excited about being in Vegas. I have already lost most of my paycheck that I would normally be getting, and had to put a marker down with the casino bosses here in Vegas. So if I don't make it back to Nashville, they say what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. But I'm hoping my luck turns around. I've got a lady of the night supposed to meet me later on tonight at the bar, and we're set to go, Zach.
Hey, that sounds good. Maybe Robert can cover that too for you there. He's the boss man, we say up here at Freaky Fast Broadcast. So maybe the boss man can help cover that fee there, as these drivers are qualified. I think Robert's not liking the sound of that, but we're qualified here at the moment with Ian Baker. It looks like right now in the 88, sitting on top of the board with a 30.89 over Mike Aiello Jr. in that 74 machine.
Yeah, and judging from this is week number 9, watching the past couple of races with you, seeing Huffstutler up there, Aiello Jr., Ian Baker, as you said, Stunner, Job. These are names. Buell in 11th position. I mean, Earhart. There's so many good drivers here with the Underdog Racing League that it's really anyone's race. And right now, Ian Baker with that quick time of 30.893 over second place, Mike. Mike
Aiello. It's we like A for Canadians, then you say hello.
Hello. So it's like Fonzie answering the phone.
Definitely true. There's looks like Ian Baker's still holding on to it here. We got less than a minute to go as we ride on board these drivers here qualifying. Looks like Jason Finsler, who was fastest in practice, is going to sit 6th on the board after putting down a 30.95, and he's got 2 race wins in a row and a good sizable point lead in here tonight as our points leader.
Absolutely. And it's such a different mindset when you look at, you've got some race drivers that they think it's a Ricky Bobby thing. They're the first or their last. It's race by race. The long haul isn't anything. They live in the some that they really do. They drive it as a season like you would in the NBA or the NFL or the NHL. And they look at the end goal of points and playoffs and things like that. Then you've got those drivers that can mesh the two and take advantage of either different tracks or different advantages, different mistakes other drivers might make to then capitalize on that and pull a win out here or there while still working for that long game. So it's going to be interesting to see. Is Zach? They have our starting grid up on the screen for you, sir.
Yes, we do. Here's our starting grid here tonight for the Underdog Racing League. Ian Baker going to start from that pole position in that 88 machine. Second's going to go to Mike Allo Jr. Third is going to be Sean Huffsteller in the 94 machine. Fourth is going to be Justin Stunnard in that 33. Fifth, Matt Job in the 89. Last week's winner in the week before, Jason Finsler, going to start in that 6th position. Seventh is going to go to Lance Durham. Eighth, John Magner. Ninth's going to be Brett Summers, and rounding out your top 10 is going to be Nate Morrison in the 22. 11th is going to be Brad Ringer in the 76. 12th, Tony Bard. 13th, David Buell. 14th, Dennis Steele. 15th is Trevor Earhart. 16th is Jake Williams. 17th, Kevin Orlando Jr. 18th, Dylan Walterman. 19th, Christopher Heights. And rounding out your top 20 is Justice Murphy in the 20th position. 21st is going to be James Loveland. 22nd, Parker Johnston. 23rd, Nick Alves in the 24. 24th is going to go to the 11 car of Peyton Presley. 25th is going to go to Michael Simmons in the 00. And rounding out your field in the 26th position is Scott Kerberg, as that is your starting lineup here tonight from the Underdog Racing League at Las Vegas Motor Speedway.
Yeah, and 40 laps on this first stage. Zach should set up some interesting racing here this evening with a total of 120 laps to be completed in Las Vegas in Sin City. You know why they call it Sin City, don't you?
Oh, I can only think why. Definitely a place where a lot of sins are committed.
It's crazy how many chapels they have in. I guess they're mostly for Elvis weddings or things like that. But it seems like the chapel to sin ratio is a little off kilter down there.
That's a good point, Lee. I don't think no one's ever brought that up. How many chapels are in Sin City? That's kind of ironic if you think about it.
Yeah, as you can tell, it has been an interesting snow week so far here in the Tidwell house. I've been waiting for this race for like 2 days now because I have not had anything. Well, I've had things to do and I didn't do them. I'm sorry, Robert. But yeah, we get ready to get set here with the Underdog Racing League. And my computer is having issues.
Oh no, as it looks like the pace truck's gonna pull in here and we're gonna get the initial green flag. Green flag is in the air. Ian Baker's gonna lead us down to the start finish line here. And at number 88, we'll see with the 74 Mike Allo Jr. in tow as they head down to turn 1 here. Looks like it's gonna be side by side from the 3rd position on back as these drivers try to sort it out coming off of turn 2 here at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway.
Yeah, Hudstutler's going to get a run off the bottom there in that 94. Going to battle Aiello.
Yes. You did it.
Aiello. There we go. Aiello Jr. But now he's going to pull to the high side of Baker. Going to try to come in and get spun there by Hudstutler. Hud spun coming out of 4. Caution comes out. Wreck continues to happen behind the leaders as they cross the line. And we have a Donnybrook here on the end of lap number 1.
Wow, Lee, that right there happened so quick off of turn 4 there. And I tell you what, that was a huge moment there for a lot of drivers there as a parking lot is now in the front straightaway.
Most definitely, and we'll have to watch it that freaky fast carnage replay right now as we come out of turn 4. It's happening up towards the front of the field as Huffstutler and Aiello Jr. getting into each other. The 5 there getting off his wheels. That's Finsler.
Yeah.
The 91 involved, as I said.
89 of Matt Joe. Brett Somers in the 7. The 52 of David Well. A lot of drivers early contact here. And, that really came down to looking at there over a little bit again, Lee. The 74 there was trying to, cover off that bottom lane, but he got a little bit loose actually when he turned down, and that's going to be a culprit of cold tires here at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway on our early run.
Yeah, you've got to get those tires warmed up before you can think about keeping that throttle to the floor. Thank you for the freaky fast carnage replay on the end of lap number 1. We are under caution on lap 3 here of 120. Stage will be 40 here this evening. Ian Baker in first. After the shakeup, Stunnard will move up to second. Magner in third, Brad Ringer in fourth, Nate Morris fifth, Tony Baird in sixth, Dennis Steele in seventh, Trevor Earhart in eighth, Jake Williams ninth, and Dylan Walterman, up to the 10th position. Kevin Orlando Jr. Will be in 11th. As we're looking at Stunnard right now, Stunnard running in second position behind Ian Baker, who made it through that and is the only one in the front, 4 or 5, that is still on the track with no damage, making it through that accident.
Yeah, that really jumbled up the whole lineup. Right now, I mean, you had, let's see, upwards of 7 cars that started in the top 10. Actually 6 cars that started in the top 10 here that are now in the back of the pack, outside of the top 17. Just due to that incident there, it kind of jumbled up right there from really the second position on back to about 10th or so. And a lot of those drivers getting caught up in it. A lot of drivers gaining a lot out of this, and it's kind of definitely jumbled up the order. But Ian Baker, the leader, definitely looking very well off here, getting through that cleanly.
Yeah, hopefully we can settle it down, have some green flag runs here and at Vegas. Baker with an excellent start. Had some challenge looking to brew behind him with Huffstutler and ALO Jr. But misfortunes, Sin City taketh and she giveth. And right there she tooketh from Huffstutler and ALO Jr., along with a few others.
Yeah, it was unfortunate start to the race there for a few the trucks out here getting some pretty heavy damage, but they do have a fast spare here at the Underdog Race League, so a lot of those drivers probably elected to use that, and a few of them probably worked on those with some optional repair.
It's kind of like shooting snake eyes, ain't it?
Yeah, literally. Oh, man. Not good.
The pace truck will come off. We'll go to lap 5 when we cross the line. Baker will lead them to the line on the inside. Stunner on the outside in row 1. Magner and Ringer in row 2. Morris Baird row 3. Steele Earnhart row 4. And Williams and Walterman row 5. And look at the jump there by Baker. He's going to bring it down. Magner and Ringer, 3rd and 4th, are going to be side by side going into 1. Baker and Stunnard will pull it on out, and then right behind them, Magner and Ringer, then Morris and Baird. Behind them, Earhart and Steele's going to mix it up a little bit, and then followed by the 46 of Walterman, who has moved up into 9th position. We're going to race it through the backstretch now down into 2. Race for the lead. Stunner to the inside of Baker. Baker's now hung to the high side out to dry. Stunner will overtake the lead and cross the line at lap number 6. The field mixes up behind them from 5th on. The battle now for 6. Baird and Steele, the 13 and 1, racing it down into 1.
Yeah, we're already seeing a lot of positions change, a lot of races side by side here. That's what you're going to see with this draft package in these trucks. Going to be able to get big runs, and these trucks are going to stay in a pretty big pack here early in this run.
Bringing it into 3. Stunnard has pulled out a little bit of a lead. Baker remaining 2nd, and then you've got Ringer and Magner right behind Baker. And now look at Morris in the 22, going to dive down to the inside to look at overtaking that 5th position. And we'll do it in the tri-oval, slide up into make it 4th. Right behind Ringer and Baker. Stunnard continues to lead. Stunnard with a 0.2 of a second lead over Baker at the moment. We race it down. You can see, Zach, like you talked about that draft, you can pull right up to the back of anyone. Ringer going to look down to the inside of Baker now. Coming out of 4, Ringer to the inside, Baker to the high side. Baker with a nice run with momentum will continue in 2nd position across the line, racing it down into 1. Ringer will continue to hug that white line and try to find that shortest possible way around that track, which gives the 22 of Nate Morris an opportunity to pull up right behind him and say, which one of these guys I want to help? I like Ian Baker. So he's going to help Baker out on the high side, leave the 75 of Ringer to the inside, who's going to get hung out to dry and lose at least 1, make it maybe 2 spots going across the line.
Yeah, I think we're starting to see a trend here a little bit, too, of the bottom lane in 1 and 2 not the preferred trade. You're going to see a lot of guys try to make passes on that bottom lane, but so many bumps in that lower lane. You see the trucks hopping on that bottom lane. So tough to hold that truck down there on that bottom lane of the truck on your outside.
Yes, and Ringer's just hung out right now. The 15 of Magner comes around him on the high side. Behind Magner will be Earhart. who's now moved up to the 6th position. Walterman up to 7th. We race it out of 4. And Ringer's just looking for some place to slide in. No, not Ringer, excuse me, Magner.
Yeah, definitely looking for somewhere to get in there. You know, it's really tough. Like I said, 1 and 2 is the corner where you're trying to make the bottom work. And if you can make a pass in the bottom of 1 and 2, you're really doing something, because 3 and 4 is a lot smoother. Man, what racing we got going on here early, though, in this front pack.
Just as you said it, Nate Morris made the pass for 2nd position through 1 and 2 on the low side. We bring it out of 4. Your leader, Justin Stunner, in that number 33. Will be on lap number 11, with Nate Morris now up 8 positions to 2nd. Ian Baker, your pole setter, back to 3rd. Magner up 4 spots to 4th. And Earhart up 10 spots into 5th. Now make it 6th as Ringer not giving that spot up easily. Here comes Walterman now. Woo! Right to the backside of the 25 Earhart.
A lot of big runs here. Like I said, that draft's going to be a pretty big factor here, especially early in the run while the tires are still good and that dirty air is not too much of an effect with that mechanical grip you have. Once they start relying on that aerodynamic grip, it's going to get a lot harder to pass and follow.
And you look back into, still in this lead pack, the 11th position, the number 48 of Parker Johnston. He's in 11th. He's up 11 spots. He started 22nd, and in this lead pack around Vegas on lap 12 of 120, looking at that 40 lap mark for the stage.
Yeah, a few of these guys right here started way outside the top 10, are looking to get stage points here early in stage 1, and that's the thing. You know, qualifying good equals good stage points, but if you're able to take advantage of some early incidents from people and get some stage points by qualifying outside on the top 20, that's a good job on yourself.
So back in the pack a little bit. Let's go, if we can, to the 13 of Baird. He is running in 13th position. He's down 1 spot from his starting position. Battling around with Nick Alves. Alves pitted on lap 2, so must have been involved in that incident.
Yeah, he definitely pitted there. I don't know if he exactly had any damage, but I tell you what, he's done a great job to come through the field from this point. I mean, now he's back up to 12th. That's 11 positions gained from where he started in the race, so good gain for him there.
The 94 of Huff Stutler will be sitting in 16th position after that incident. Aiello Jr. behind him, and then Loveland, James Loveland, in that number 56. He's up 3 spots, up to 18th position. This will be in your second group. Also, the 89 there of Matt Job. Job was involved in that incident, but trying to climb his way back up. He is down 13 spots in the 18th position, but I bet you he is very, very thankful for that fast repair offered here with Underdog Racing League.
Oh, those guys graciously took it, because I'm telling you what, the damage that some of them trucks had were going to be, you know, not day over race, but the chance at a win or a top 5, I'd say, would have been pretty much over with the amount of damage they had. So definitely not a great way to start out Las Vegas, but you know what they say, you got a mulligan in your back pocket sometimes. So these guys were able to use it.
David Buell at number 52 running in 20th position. The 91 of Lance Durham in the 23rd position in the number, like I said, 91. He's down 16 spots from his starting position. The 14 of Scott Kerber is in 22nd position. He's up 4. So he chose to climb it from the back.
Yeah, it's tough to start from the back, but some guys elect to do that, just preferred. It's safer a lot of times, and some guys are more methodical, more patient. Let the race come to them, let the green flag runs get what they can, and don't really worry about too much about being aggressive. And it can work out for you, and also can put you behind. As you see Brett Somers there at the moment get past David Boyle in that 7 machine. He's starting to get back up there with that 7 as he was caught up in that wreck in the first lap.
Yep, lap 18 of 120. Stage will be at 40. Your leader is Justin Stunnard, who has a 0.2 of a second lead over second place Nate Moore. Looking now at the 18 of Justice Murphy. Murphy running in 9th position. He's up 11 spots, and he's right in the thick of things at the moment. Looking to catch up with that group. There's a group of about 5 make it, yeah, 5 trucks trying to catch up with the top 3. It's a race for 5th between Magner and Earnhardt. Magner will keep the position, but then back behind them now, Ringer and Walterman racing a little bit. That is going to be for 6th and 7th position.
Looking like oh, sorry, Lee. I was going to say, looking like the track's starting to cool off. The sun has almost not completely gone down. Ooh, we are getting a little racy there for these positions. The field stacking up a little more as these tires wear. But the track's starting to cool off a little bit. We lost about 2 degrees of track temp already through these first 20 laps. And see how that shapes up for these racing trucks out here on the track.
Yeah, as the front 3 kind of starting to jockey a little bit, as Morris did look to the inside of Stunner there through 1 and 2, but then decided to hang on back. And then back behind them, you have got Earnhardt, Magner, Ringer, Williams, Walterman, all of them. They are just mixing it up and positions being changed, because you got to think, into that stage, top 10 get points. And the higher you are, the more points you get at every point in the playoff system.
Points are everything when it comes to playoffs. Oh, look, it's 3 wide here for that position.
3 wide down to the inside. Going to run it across the line. Magner, along with Walterman and Ringer.
Wow. Looks like the 76 of Ringer is going to get the most out of that. Walterman trying to use the bottom here on 1 and 2. Like I said, tough to pass there, but Magner up into the wall, Lee.
Oh, yeah, it looks like he touched that wall, too. Little kissy kiss. As the 15 of Magner continues to drop back, now to 9th position. And trying to find a place to settle back in. So Magner with a mental error there, scraping that wall a little too hot, coming out of 2. And going to fall all the way back to 11th and fall in line behind this group, trying to chase down the front 3 of Stunnard, Morris, and Baker.
Yeah, and that just shows you, I mean, he went from 5th to 11th by just getting in the wall a little bit. This track is such a momentum track with these lower horsepower race trucks. Just, you lose a little bit of mile per hour, and you're going straight backwards. As this front 3, man, they're all on top of each other now as 24 laps into the books, past halfway in this first stage.
And Morris was, at one point in time, it looks like he was looking to outside and inside, but it might have actually been he was trying to cool down, because he's kind of drafting there with Stunnard.
It really is. These 3 here have been kind of almost what you would see in a restrictor play, almost not tandeming. I guess you could call it trioing now, because there's 3 of them. But man, yeah, these 3 here are stuck together pretty well. But that number 25 behind them is continuing to run a good bit quicker. So we'll see if Trevor Earnhardt there can get himself up closer to that front 3 there, as Brad Ringer and Dylan Walterman are battling behind him.
Yep, a battle for 5th with Walterman and Ringer. Walterman going to look down to the inside and see if he can make it stick down there. You can see from the great camera angle from Oz himself, the momentum being pulled by Ringer on the high side, able to continue with not only maintain that position, but pull away from Walterman a little bit.
Yeah, that was a huge run off of 4 right there.
Front, Morris in the 22, looking to the high side of Stunnard. This will be for the lead on lap 26. Morris to the high side. Stunnard gets stuck down to the bottom. And looking to see if he can possibly pull it out here of 4 and make it stick. Morris has Baker following him on the high side. They will race it to the line, door to door. A hood lead for Stunnard across the line. Morris continue to run that high side, Zach. And now Baker going to pull out and going to drop down to the inside. Morris now looking to get a strong run off of 2. Morris, now they're going 3 wide, as you said. Baker to the inside. Stunnard's in the middle. Morris to the high side. Baker says, no, fellas, I'm going to drop back. Fight it out. And then Morris will inch it in front of Stunnard and take the lead and cross the line with 28 to go here in the stick.
What a pass.
And then look at the 25 of Earnhardt, as he is now caught up with Baker. And then back behind them, they're looking to go 3 wide with Ringer, Walterman, and Williams.
Wow, what racing we're seeing right here. I'm not sure exactly what it looks like. Christopher Heights is in the middle of that there in that green truck, that 21. He is a lap down, I believe, on newer tires.
It is Heights pitted on lap 14, and you see the difference in the tires as he just flew by there on the high side.
All right, there was definitely a difference in tires. As you see, we go right around the wall. And you see a lot of these guys are migrating higher up the track almost by themselves. They're running that middle lane. And that right there tells me they're a little bit tight. If you can't run that bottom lane, usually means you're a good bit tight here. And they're definitely fighting that. You know, it also can be a little bit tight loose. So got to be something we got to watch them, see if there's any tail feathers shaking out there.
Good little tail feather shake there by Heights as he's on fresher tires, but also means colder tires. Came out of Ford. He wiggled it just teeny-tiny a little bit as he is flying around truck after truck. And looking at the number 5 of Finsler.
He's flying.
Finsler's in 10th position. Like he has Alves behind him, and that's a race for the top 10 there in the stage. It's 31 to go when we cross the line. I mean, not 31 to go. On lap 31 when we cross the line. Means 10 to go.
Yeah, and I tell you what, looking at it too, Lee, Finsler is super fast. So is Hustler right behind him in that 94. These two were upwards of almost 6 seconds back from the lead at one point. Now they're 3.7 seconds back. So these two right here have really been hustling through the field after getting caught up in that early wreck.
I'd like to say hello to everyone watching out there on Facebook and YouTube this wonderful Hump Day Wednesday evening from Vegas. Lee Sidwell, Zach Hall, and Oz himself, Robert Moya, bringing you all the action here of the Underdog Racing League from Las Vegas Motor Speedway. We are looking at the 94 of Huffstutler. Huffstutler has moved back up to the 11th position, Zach. He is a man on a mission, and he is trying to break the top 10 before we get to that magic stage caution. I don't know what's magic about it, but it sounded...
It's a magic stage caution. Hey, I mean, we'll take that. We'll take that. You know, it's looking here now. You got Mike Ella Jr., James Lovewood, and Ella Jr. Remember caught up in that incident too. Remember, he was the initial truck to spin there from that second starting position. He's back to 13th. Hadn't been able to exactly keep up with Finsler and Hustler, who also were caught up in that, but he still has he's third from those trucks that were caught up in that. The action for third is going off now too, as Earhart's trying to get to the outside of Baker.
Earhart's going to be on the outside of Baker. Will overtake that third position as he might have saved a little bit on those tires there. Morris, Stunnard, Earhart, one of those. Baker and Walterman will be your top 5. Walterman trying to catch up with the lead group. Then you got a race for 6 with Williams and Ringer side by side. They race it out of 2.
Jake Williams, he's been moving forward. I mean, 16th to 7, looking to get to the top 6 here. That'd be a great position for this number 29. Each week he kind of sneaks his way into top 10s and top 5s each week. I've noticed with this 29 machine.
Quiet assassins that he's playing that long game, and he's picking off points and picking off positions here and there, and you never see him coming. He's like a ninja. He's stealthy.
Hey man, you gotta like that. But he wears khaki pants. Look behind that. Look, Jason Finsler. He's continuing. He's gonna get Murphy here, Justice Murphy, and continue to move his way. He could possibly still have a chance at a top 6 here for this 5 at the end of the stage.
The 18 of Justin Murphy in 9th position, up 11 spots from his start, riding right behind the 5 of Finsler. Finsler was involved in that incident, or at least did come in and pit, which leads me down to believe, my dear Watson, that he was involved in some way, shape, or form.
Yes, he did. He was definitely involved. And tell you what, at 5, he is coming to the front. He's almost put it under 3 seconds now to the leader. I mean, he's passing cars around the faster times than the leaders. That's when you know someone is really going fast, on these racetracks.
Yeah, and he drops down to the inside. Looking now at the 46 of Walterman. Walterman with a run now up behind Ian Baker, who is back into 4th position and maybe going to fall back to 5th. Walterman's had a good night of running that low line. He's got a race for second up there too, with
Yes, we
Earhart and Stunnard.
great pass there from that 25 machine. Put him second here with 2 laps to go, or actually, sorry, 3 laps to go here.
And he's trying to chase down Morris.
Yeah, he's got a chance to. He's been really quick. Really, really quick here in these last few laps.
We bring it into 3. Nate Morris in the lead. Here comes Earhart to the low side. Going to race Morris to the line. Morris will lead that lap. We're on lap 39. But he had Earhart. And, door to door. Earhart had a good run there, but man, Morris was able to keep it. Earhart's going to slide in front of him. Will Morris try the dip down? No, he lifts right there, going right at the entrance of 3.
That was a power move. He made the pass in 1 and 2, and that's, like I said earlier, if you can make a pass on the bottom, that just shows how much you've conserved the tires and made them last. He's got 1 lap to go here in the stage number 1 lead. I think Earhart just pulled off a great ending of the stage here for himself.
Now look at Stunner. Stunner was looking to the inside of Morris there, but couldn't hang the way Earhart could on that low side. Racing into 3 and 4. Stunner trying to make it stick, but will not be able to pull it off. It'll be Earhart, Morris, Stunnard, Walterman, Williams, Finsler, Baker, Ringer, Huffstutler, and Murphy.
Wow. What a first stage there. Great run for Trevor Earhart. A few guys definitely made their way back up. Looks like Huffstutler and Finsler both were able to come back from that wreck they got caught up in earlier to get back into the top 10 of the stage. Some pretty big movers, some fast drivers there at the end. I tell you what, Jake Williams, he's going to be one to watch out for later. His lap times there at the end in that 29, very quick.
Yes, some of these guys, they have learned how to save those tires. And we saw some very strong vehicles on that track around lap 35 to 40, making huge charges.
Yeah, this track suits that style too. Of back it up a little bit, save some tire. I personally, we started that initial race off right after that first initial caution with Baker leading in the 88, and he immediately dropped back almost to a 3rd position. And I thought that was kind of a tire saving deal, but he actually fell all the way back to 7th there nearing the end of the stage. So I guess it wasn't a tire saving deal there, and just was just a speed thing. So sometimes you see guys falling back and forth with tire strategies.
So we will bring it on down for the first pit party of the evening here with Underdog Racing League. And Zach, we got some fine sponsors that are proud to be part of this broadcast here tonight, and they are
ButtKicker, feel what you've been missing. And remember, every game deserves a truly immersive experience. That ButtKicker Gamer 2 lets you feel every detail, from subtle footsteps to the rumble of a V10 powered race car, from ambient environmental effects to the power of a nearby explosion. By moving a physical mass instead of only air, the Gamer 2 provides instant, accurate, powerful base response, and it's all perfectly synced with every game with no additional software required. So remember to go check out ButtKicker at ButtKicker.com and feel what you've been missing, Lee.
You know what I've been missing?
What?
A funnel cake. I could really go for a funnel cake right now.
I'm going to have to run down there and get you one?
Dude, you would forever be my hero. Did I ever tell you that you're my hero?
I like the sound of that. It's always a good compliment, I guess, when you're somebody's hero. So I wish I could get you a funnel cake, but I don't have a snowmobile to bring it to you. So
yeah, man. I mean, you need an ice mobile. I don't know what vehicles ride around in ice. You need a bobsled, a toboggan, something, a luge.
We'll get a hot air balloon. There you go. That'll work. That can go. That can, at least it's hot, I guess, or it's cold there.
Yeah, I don't know what a hot air balloon's going to do for me.
Robert, our producer, he says that won't work. So Unfortunately, it won't work. So
Yeah, it is so cold. How cold is
how
it?
cold is it actually, Nashville?
It is so cold that yeah, I can't think of anything that's PG rated that I want to
Ice
say right
cold.
now. Have you ever made snow cream?
I have. It's very
Yeah,
delicious.
but well, yeah, you're from the South, so you know what
Yes.
snow cream is. I guess northern people can know what snow cream is. I guess that's not an only a southern thing. I mean, they get more snow than we do.
Well, I hope
You know,
everybody out there
one of
is
the most
doing.
annoying things in the world, one of them is spotty internet. And the second is voices in your head that aren't yours that won't shut up when you're trying to figure out what to say next on a slow part of the race.
They confuse you. Just like
Talking
you're
about
hearing things.
talking about food and stuff. I mean, come on, man. I'm already hungry. How about funnel cakes? And you're like, oh, I went to Five Guys. It's so good. And Bill Burgers and stuff. Ate M&M's. You know, he can just sit there and rattle off. He ain't got to be PG. He can say whatever he wants to. You know why? Because you can't hear him, but you can hear us. So we have to put on our Sunday best. You know, our little good boy personas here on the air because you know you never know who might be watching. Mama might be watching, and you know I don't want my mama smacking me in the mouth for saying something that I probably shouldn't. But to me, I think this broadcast would be a lot more interesting if the filters were removed for maybe like one race.
Maybe,
What do you think,
one race.
Zach?
Maybe yeah.
One
You
race,
know,
we put a
I don't have a
disclaimer on
filter.
it.
I think I am exactly the same person as as much the truth as it can be. I have no filter here right now. It's just me talking.
See, my language is much more colorful in real life. It's like the Wizard
I'm
of
almost
Oz
a
going
little
from
white
black and
label.
white to color. That's me from broadcast to real life, language wise.
Well, you do a fantastic job of throwing that filter on, my friend.
It's amazing that I can do that. I don't know how I do it. I guess it's just from years and years of doing things like this, you know, calling different sporting events or reading the local news or the weather report, being a DJ. All that good stuff. Professional wrestling. Yes, I have broadcast professional wrestling before. As we get set to go back green here with the Underdog Racing League, Earhart will bring him to the line. Studdard in second. Walterman, Morris, Finsler, and Baker will round out your top three rows as we look at the jump by Earhart. He said, I ain't playing.
Yeah, he really took off that time as these guys are paddling it up behind him here.
Yeah, Walterman and Finsler to the inside. Pushing Studdard on back. Here comes the 22 of Nate Morris as the second through fourth all bunched together. And a little cluster like an atom.
Oh, Walterman got the same.
Oh, save it.
What a save.
What a save.
Man, I tell you what, Finsler got the worst end of that too. There's the caution.
Caution comes out here on lap 47. And it was just like lap 1. It was turn 4, first lap, cold tires.
It just will catch you off guard so quickly.
It will. As we watch the Freaky Fast, it's not necessarily cartage replay tonight.
Oh, we had two
Look
trucks.
at that save. Oh. So the 11 of Priestley gets slammed into by the 91 of Lance Durham and truly does make this a Freaky Fast cartage replay. I didn't see that. I saw the initial.
Yeah, we saw Walterman get loose in the 46. But the 11 of Peyton there, he got the same exact snap loose there. But then you seen that carnage, as you said there, Lee, unfold after it went straight back right on him. You know, that's what happens. You lose the rear end of these trucks, you turn right to correct that, then the front tires grip, and guess where you're going? Straight towards the wall. So never fun when you're that loose.
No. No, it's not. And this is one of those tracks that it can catch you off guard. What in the world? Little fickaroo there by Earhart. He's like, I'm going to pit. No, I'm not. Bazinga.
Yeah, I think pitting would have been a bad idea there just because they just took off. So good decision on him to stay out with most of these drivers here.
Yeah, I don't see any benefit of pitting right there. Unless, I mean, unless you're involved in that.
The only reason I would pit there is, really just to, I guess if you had like some bet going on to pass the most trucks in the race or something, because that's just track position loss. Now, if you're a driver near the back, why not come in here, put a little more extra fuel in it, and you can make it a little bit farther here before you have to pit for this final time in this race.
See that up here. Because when I'm driving this thing, I never even start looking at my fuel calculations until I hear, you got to be pitting here soon. I'm like, oh, I better look. And it's got like 5 laps. And I'm like, oh, probably should have had a strategy.
Strategy is a major part of racing. You can be blazing fast, but if you're not calling your race right, I've seen plenty of people who lead lots of laps and make the wrong calls. That pit road is a place where you're not a lot of times going to win the race there, but you can definitely lose it down there. Let me tell you, I'm good at that.
I have been witness to that.
Yes, very good at messing up pit road. It's a friendly place for me, but also a dark.
As we get set to go back green, it'll be lap 51 of 120 when we go green. It's going to be Earhart, Stunnard, Morris, Baker, Williams, Huffstetler, Ringer, Loveland, Murphy, and Alves, your top 10. Brent Somers down 2 positions, sitting in the 11th position. Wow, Earhart he's up 14 spots.
I just noticed that, Lee. I thought he had started up farther. I mean, usually Earhart, very good qualifier from what I've seen throughout this whole season here so far. But 15th the first, that's impressive. I want to see what type of race pace he can have now that he has clean air. He can decide the pace he wants to run. Instead of having to drive through 14 trucks to get there. I mean, that's fantastic for him to be able to win that last stage.
Fantastic.
I like that word.
I do too. That's a cool word.
It for some reason, like, I don't know what it is. It like kind of rolls off the. I either say fantastic or interesting, or there's only a few ways I can describe stuff. I'm trying to add a few more words to my vocabulary.
Did they extend the caution, or am I dumb?
I think last time you might have got ahead of yourself. I think it'll be 1 to green. This time, yes, the pace truck lights are out. So,
well, when they start forming up double file, I don't look at the lap thing, so it's their fault.
Yeah, look, a lot of drivers do that pretty early, so it's easy to get confused by it. That's why I look at the little pace truck light, because that thing never lies.
I'm on top of the press box. It's hard to see that daggone pace truck light.
You can't even see that thing then. Yeah, I'm going to tell you what, sometimes in certain times of day, you really can't see it either. So trust me, the light is not visible all the time. As it is out this time, so we will be going back green here on 51 of 120. I tell you what, it's with the strategy right here, we got about 70 laps to go. Be 69 here once we take this lap. But about 70 laps to go. It's going to be interesting to see how these guys play the strategy. You can split it down to 35, make that halfway point, or you can stretch it a little bit farther to possibly, use a little bit of strategy there to have fresher tires at the end of this race. But we'll have to see what these guys do here.
Got the Chevys 1 and 2, Ford in 3rd, Chevy 4th and 5th and 6th. No Toyotas in the top 10 as we get set to go green. We will bring it to the line with Trevor Earhart in the number 25. Green flag, lap 52 of 120 here at Las Vegas as we're going to go 3 wide for second. Right off the bat, Studdard, Morris, and Baker.
Whoa.
Oh, look at Baker. He's going to pull it back. Baker thought about it on the high side, but pulled it back. Now he's going to try to drop down to the inside of Studdard. Studdard's going to try to press him down there just a bit and slow him up. Baker's going to hug the white line and try not to spin those back tires. We're coming out of 4. That is a battle for 3rd position. Studdard will pull right up behind Morris. Baker will stay down low, and then Huff Stutler will follow along as the front 5 starting to get a little bit of a gap there. Way high goes Studdard.
Wow, look at the run he gets off that corner.
Dude,
wow.
It's like nitrous or something. Post-race inspection on the 33, please.
Look at this, Susie.
Wow.
I'm here at 3 and 4 and go straight to the lead.
He got a heck of, either everybody's still holding back or he got one of the best runs I've ever seen in this track.
The run out of 2 was amazing for that upper groove. I mean, we've ran the upper groove here before at Las Vegas, but it's been mostly a bottom dominant track lately. I tell you what, the run he had out of 2 makes me reconsider that. But 3 and 4, I think you saw Earhart definitely kind of conserving. It's kind of interesting to see him run up in that middle lane too. It's definitely interesting to see right now.
Loveland moves up to the 5th position as he passes Baker. Ringer behind Baker now, along with Williams, Finsler, and Murphy, and that rounds out your top 10. We got some battling going on right there around that 8th position. Whoop, Bleeker there.
Oh, man, look at this changing back and forth. Jason Finsler trying to get his way through in that 5 machine. He got caught behind Walterman there when he got sideways, lost a bunch of positions, and he's already charging back up through up to the 9th position behind that.
Alvaz and Murphy are battling right behind him.
Hey, yeah, look at that battle there. Walterman, too, trying to get back into this business.
Yep, as we bring it into 1 and 2. Door to door. Really close. Exchanged a little Grey Poupon on that one. That's what she said. As they go down into 3. We race it out. Studdard in the lead. Earhart, that guy. Number 25's in 2nd. Morris in 3rd. Huff Stutler in 4th. Loveland in 5th. Then you got Baker, Ringer, Williams, Finsler, and Murphy. Your top 10. 57 of 120 laps here at Las Vegas. And Huff Stutler is looking to maybe advance that 5th position as he was sniffing to the inside of Morris.
Man, oh man, a lot of drivers looking for everything they can get here. And this just shows you through these first, almost 9 laps now of this run, only 2 seconds separates the top of 12.
Yeah, they're single file until someone decides they're going to hug that white line.
That's actually what got me most interested is these guys running the middle lane. They're really electing to stay away from that bottom. And that's kind of off from my, from normal. You want to run in that rubber with this V7 tire to definitely make it work better.
Yeah, I don't know what it is, but they all seem to prefer that line and only drop to the inside for passes. As we've got a battle now for 6th and 7th. Baker back there and Ringer. Ringer did not get the run off of 2. He wanted it. And right behind him is Jake Williams. Finsler in 9th and Murphy in 10th. So we have settled it down.
Yeah, it's definitely single filed out, but I tell you, it's a big old single file line right now of trucks that are all on top of each other. And once tire wear start to become a factor, I think that's where you're going to really see a lot of these positions start changing hands.
Yeah, it looks like the 24. Yeah, of Alvaz. He's falling back now to 12th. He plateaued out there on lap 59, and he just started falling backwards.
Jake Williams here in the 29. I tell you, he was really fast in the long run here in this 29. I want to see what he can do if we get a longer run here at the end of this race. Is right now the battle between Justice Murphy and Parker Johnston here is Nick Alves and Walterman battle also side by side.
Side by side, it is 2 by 2 going into 3. Murphy and Johnston.
Wow, that was like dead even through the corner.
It really was.
It was like they weren't even moving, Lee. It was like they were stuck and the track was moving under them.
That was one of those old baby toys when you used to drive and the background would turn and you would just make your car slide back and forth.
Oh man.
I don't know if you're old enough to remember those games.
I think I've seen one of those before. I know what you're talking about. I think so. A little bit beyond my time, but I think I know exactly what you're talking about. At least I think that.
Race for third as Huffstetler's moved up to fourth and now battling Morris. Will hug the white line. The 94 of Huffstetler. Oh.
Man, oh man, the 48, the 27, the 46, 24. These guys are all on top of each other right here for this 10th position.
Walterman. Woo, careful. Walterman started slowing up as you see the momentum loss. And right behind him. Who is that on the low side behind him?
Kevin Orlando Jr. here's right on board with him.
Yeah, he had to check up as not to run into the back of Walterman, so he is going to lose spots as well through no fault of his own.
Yeah, it's just some good old-fashioned hard race. Here's look at this shot here. He gets to run through the outside here off the 4.
Running on the high side. Brings it across the start-finish line looking.
The Highline's been the way the pass. You're going to see here the 27. He's going to use it to his advantage. As he go down the back straightaway, he's going to make that pass to clear the 46 to Dylan Walter. Oh, Alo Jr. coming through now, too, in the 73. Or 74, sorry.
Yeah, and see, I've been watching him slowly but surely work his way back up through the field. And he's got a strong truck.
Oh, he's definitely got a strong truck. We've seen him run here great multiple times here at the Underdog Race League and qualified very well. And that's normally kind of where Mike is not as, up to tune. He tends to start near the back and work his way up slowly. But he had to go back there anyways due to that incident. So it's kind of like a normal racer when you're working his way through the board.
As we are watching the 56.
He had a great rebound too because Loveland was back in almost the latter end of the top 20 there, like in the teens, 18s, 19s there for a long time.
That stage started in 21st.
Yeah, I mean that's what I'm saying. He was back there pretty much around 21st the whole time. Now here at the final stage, he's in position here to be in the top 5.
Yeah, he's had a thunderous run here along with Trevor Earhart, who has moved up 13 positions. They're your big jumpers. Justice Murphy in 10th up 10 spots. Parker Johnston in 11th up 11 spots.
And at the moment right now, looks like a little bit of battle going on with Jason Finsler in the 5 trying to get by Jake Williams. And I noticed from Finsler in the 5 as they're racing side by side now with that 29 for this 8th position. I noticed with this 5, he started to, he was dropping back a little bit, and I think he was actually saving a good bit there as he started to put in a couple lap times faster than the leader the last few times by. So I'd like to see the 5 of Jason Finsler can go forward as he's now made that pass on Jake Williams for that 8th position.
Yep, we'll slide right up into the position behind Ringer.
One thing I also noticed with him is he can run the bottom and make passes compared to a lot of people. That right there just shows me that his tires are more well off. And we'll see here if he can get to the inside of Ringer as they go down the 1 and 2. Whoa, close.
Yeah, he dove it down way deep, even below down on the apron, as some of these drivers do going through little mini tri-oval type area there at Las Vegas. But, usually you don't go down there until you have to because it does use those tires more. Am I not right, Zach?
Yeah, I mean, it can heat the tires up, which is gonna, anytime you got heat, that's more wear, more air pressure build. So that transition there, banking, it's going to affect the tires a little bit, not necessarily tremendously, but you will feel an effect from doing that. As now the 5 is going to get to run on the 76 here down the back straightaway.
Yeah, puts it down on the inside, going into 3. The 5 of Finsler.
Trying to go 3 in a row too.
Yeah, he will take that position from Ringer. Move up into 7.
To see what kind of, he got a little bit of clean track here too, so I'm gonna monitor a little bit of lap times here as he made that pass there for that position. He was still 2/10 quicker than our leader, so that's the good sign from, like I said earlier, when you're passing trucks and going faster than the guys ahead of you. That's a really good sign for your long run speed.
As we watch him come out of 4, I'm going to do the same as you and kind of watch these lap times. And if you'd like to see the lap times of the drivers, make sure you check down in the description, as there are links to the live timing and all the different things offered by Freaky Fast, along with, of course, our Freaky Fast merch shop. You can get a hat, get a t-shirt, get a pair of panties with Zach's face on the butt for all I care. I don't, you can get whatever you want there at the Freaky Fast merch shop.
That was supposed to be secret, okay? We were saving that. Wow, Lee. He let it out the bag. He let it out the bag, everybody. Sorry.
I sure did.
Wait. You got to wait for your pantyhose with my face on my guess. With Freaky Fast. So we'll see about that. Whoa, look back here. Jake Williams in the 29. Brett Somers in the 7. Parker Johnson in the 7 back here. Whoa. I'm telling you what, it was almost 4 wide in 1 and 2. Man, oh man.
Yeah, and they continue to. Ooh, almost got a door tap there. 7 to Somers. And Parker
Alves.
Johnson. Or is that Alves?
Yeah, Alves in the 24. Got a little bit of that apron that can definitely shoot you up the racetrack a good bit.
Yeah, that's the thing too about that apron, especially in the turns. If you cross that white line, you're gambling like you would in Vegas, because if 50-50 shot, it's going to shoot you straight right.
Yeah, the problem there is that it de-wedges that truck, takes that weight and really sits it on that right rear tire when you lift that left front up on that flat. And that's going to equate to a lot of right rear load. So it's going to snap loose first, and then you're going to correct it right. And that's what's going to cause you to go up the racetrack. So you're going to see a lot of times either guys spin down to the left or go straight up the hill like the 24 did with a light touch. His was more of a lighter touch, so he was able to get through it. But if you get really hard to it, it's bad. But look at this battle for the lead now with Trevor Earhart.
Yeah, Earhart's going to look to the inside. Then you've got Morris right behind there. Huffstutler, Loveland, Baker have all caught up with this lead pack now. So now we got a race for second too, boys. Morris looking to the high side.
This is getting spicy.
It really is. On lap 77 of 120, Morris on the high side. Earhart will stay down low. Huffstutler. Look at the run of the 56 of Loveland. Right to the back of Huffstutler. Now Baker's called up. Now the 5 of Finsler is up with his front group. Door to door will be 2 and 3. Make it a little bit more trunk to hood. Trunk. Tailgate. There we go. Trucks, Lee.
I tell you what, that's a lot. I call them cars all the time too, so I gotta get it in my head about the trucks. But looks like we're looking at the 14 Scott Kerberg here. Got a little bit of information on Scott. It looks like he started iRacing in April 2020. He's actually a college professor at Iowa Central Community College in Fort Dodge, Iowa. So that's pretty cool. He races for Own Farm Racing. His home track is the Iowa Speedway. He's the organizer. This is a really cool thing they do here. I don't know about this league, but they organize the RDK Bikes for Tykes 125 at Iowa, which is pretty much where they raise money to buy bicycles for kids during Christmas time. So it's really cool. They've donated 19 bikes to needy children in northern central Iowa for Christmas. So it's a really cool thing they do here at the Underdog League. So shout out to Scott Kerberg for setting all that up.
Yeah, I mean that's just an outstanding thing to have the heart and the mindset to go above and beyond like that. We've got a lot of racing going on up front in this top 6 or 7.
Yeah, I tell you what, there's a new player in this top 7 here, and that's Jason Finsler. As he's drove through the back bumper here now up to the 6th position past Ian Baker. But Nate Morris, Trevor Earhart, they've all been trying to get Justin Stunner, but he's been holding them off pretty well.
Yeah, and running that middle line as you know we talked about earlier. Moore's trying to get one of those big runs off that high side. Earhart's going to be back behind him. He's got the run. But, man, great driving by Stunnard, who kept Morris at bay. Morris going to try to swing it high on exiting 4. Drives right to the back bumper.
Everything right here.
And then look at the battle for 3rd. Here comes Huffstutler. Huffstutler down to the inside. Huffstutler said, I'm not satisfied with 3rd. Let me see if I can maybe squeeze 2nd out of here. The 56 of Loveland now going to be door-to-door with Earhart.
Wow.
And then here comes Finsler right behind Loveland.
This top 7 is just all over each other.
3rd and 4th, Huffstutler and Earhart, excuse me. Continue to race here as Huffstutler will move up to 3rd. Now Moore's starting to sniff a little bit to that high side. He knows that Stunnard is going to stay low, so Moore's trying to get that big run and get that nose in front of that tailgate before, and he does. He's got the run here now, Zach. Let's see how that middle line will work for Stunnard. Huffstutler's going to drop down low. Stunnard's going to go ahead and hug that white line now.
Wow, man. Side by side here up front in this top 7.
To the line, the front 3 within 1/10 of a second of all each other. Morris now will continue to stick it high. Huffstutler will drive it down low. Earhart will be right behind Huffstutler. Now here comes the 56 of Loveland on the high side of Finsler, then Baker on the backside of that. Morris now for the lead on the high side going into 3. Can he hold it? He is door-to-door with Stunnard. Stunnard's going to hug that bottom line. As we exit 4, they are door-to-door, and Morris will be in the lead, at least as far as the lap counter is going. Can he solidify it here on this lap? It's that exit run, Zach.
Yeah. I think he's going to have the run here down the back straightaway. Yes, he will.
They got Huffstutler right behind him.
So Stunnard's fighting hard on the bottom, though. He's making it really a lot harder on this 22. His 3 and 4 that bottom lane looks really good.
He really does. Woo! Finsler got a shot almost from Earhart. Shoved him down to the apron. Earhart will get passed by Finsler. Finsler now. Here goes Morris and Huffstutler to the high side of Stunnard. Behind him, here comes Finsler with a run, along with Loveland, Baker, Earhart. All 7 of these guys just continue. Now it's door-to-door with Huffstutler and Stunnard. Stunnard now he's going to drop it down into pit road, and so will Finsler.
You know, I was just about to bring that up. These guys are racing super hard right before pit stops. I thought 85 would be right when that window opened up, and these guys hit pit road on lap 86.
And so that thins that front group a little bit, and we'll start seeing who's going to pit and win.
I think the strategy here, if it's me in this driver's seat, I think you stretch it a few more laps, and I think if you can do it with a couple more trucks, like if these guys separate, like you see Earhart coming down this time, he's gonna come down here this time by himself. I don't like that strategy just due to the fact that he's by himself. If these front 4 here can stay out just a little bit longer, stay together, they should be able to run like a pack back up to the drivers who pitted ahead of them as they're less trucks, and be able to use them fresher tires to their advantage.
But what's fuel mileage here?
Fuel mileage, it should be around 60 laps here, so these guys could go all the way really to about lap 110, really if they wanted to, but just not enough to get that full 70 that we had to the end of this race.
Understood. As Morris will continue to lead, and he is now in that middle lane. Now here comes Baker trying to sniff on the high side of Huffstutler. I think Huffstutler might be getting ready to pit here.
He's hitting pit road this time. Yes, he is. Great call there. And wow, okay, you can see the 74 Mike Ello Jr. there. He's behind this pack, but he actually is pitted already in that 74. He's a lap down. First car a lap down, I must point out too. So he's went ahead, elected to pit. I'll have to see here what exactly lap he pitted. Wow, yes, 73. So he decided to go very early into the run, and he should cycle around to our lead once these drivers do pits. He should have a sizable lead. He pulled this strategy at Auto Club and was able to get himself a very good finish there last week. Oh man, he blinks out there a little bit. I thought we lost him, but he's gonna get his lap back here as the 88 of Baker and Morris here in the 22 have older tires.
Yeah, he's going to drop down to the inside. And just heard over the radio, Nate Morris is going to be coming in this time. So once Aiello, Aiello, did I say it right?
Yes.
Aiello,
Yes.
Got it. Once he got his lap back. Oh, Morris.
Of course.
Yeah, he shook a tail feather coming into the pit road.
He had a face-to-face look with the wall and decided not to take the wall's way. Good decision.
Yeah, those walls, they are hard.
That is a fact. We can say that's a freaky fast fact.
That's
Walls
a
are hard.
factoid. That's a tidbit.
A tidbit. There you go. I like that.
So Baker takes the lead and then comes in and pits back behind him. Is that Somers?
Yeah, Somers going to hit pit road. I believe Scott Carberg here in the 14 will be our last driver elected not to pit. Same with Dennis Steele. So it looks like he won in the 14 right now. The only driver is not to hit pit road through the sequence.
Yeah, Kerberg is just trying to stay out of everyone's way at the moment. He is just getting freight trained on by, even though he is the leader. He's up 25 spots from his starting position. Still needs to make it into pit. And wonder if he was just letting that big line of trucks going by so this next time around he can come on in. He got that bonus point. That's exactly what he's going to do. And he wanted to make sure everyone on the track knew he let a lap.
Yeah, I think he's definitely hit pit road this time here, and this should cycle it through as let's see, Dennis Steele. I don't think Dennis Steele actually going to hit pit road. He's up high here in this one, so yeah, he's going to come around to lead himself a lap, and then third would be Mike Aiello Jr., and he would be our technical leader as he's got a good sizable gap there on Stunner. But I tell you what, the lap time difference is almost a second difference.
So Dennis Steele, go ahead.
Yeah, all these strategies it's going to shake this. You know, we had a 7-car battle or truck battle for the lead. It's going to shake all that up. Everybody's going to be a lot separated. This is where we're going to see a lot more single truck, who's got the speed by themselves type of deal here. So I'm interested to see how it's going to play on these final 25 here, man.
So looking at the 74 of Mike Aiello Jr., who is 0.8 of a second ahead of third place Stunnard. Then you've got Finsler. Alves will be in 5th. And then Earhart, Huffstutler, Walterman, Johnston, and Nate Morris will round out your top 10 with Justin Murphy just on the outside looking in.
Going to make the path around the outside here to take that second position. As Mike L. Jr., I think he's saying, Dennis, why did you not pit? I wanted to lead a lap. So that kind of pulled his play there, possibly leading a lap or getting that bonus point. But looks like Stunner's going to move himself to second. And I can tell you what, Lee, coming into tonight, has not won a race yet this season. And I feel like he hadn't even been in the top 3 this season yet. He's had a few top 5. but this would be huge for that 33 here tonight if he can pull off this victory.
A lap 97 of 120 as we are watching Stunnered right now on that number 33. Pretty sure DoorDash. DoorDash can't make it to me right now. It's too icy.
Yeah, that's a lot of people's situation. It seems like in the Midwest there. Because they did still hitting pit road as the DoorDash machine.
The world is Tennessee, the Midwest.
Well, I was saying the Midwest, like Texas and stuff, like not, it's all over the place, Lee. Okay, you're not the Midwest. You're not the Midwest. We're having an argument over geography here now.
I mean, if you need a map, we can put one up on the screen for you, and we can show you what the Midwest really is.
Is Texas not Midwest?
No.
What?
Midwest is like Ohio, Iowa, Kansas.
Ohio.
That's back to the race. Stunnered will be in the lead after these pit stops shook out. Fensler is up to second. Earhart third. Alves fourth. Aiello Jr. has moved back to fifth position.
Yeah, it looks like that strategy is gonna definitely not get him a top 5 here, but it could possibly notch him a top 10, hopefully.
Yeah, here comes Huffstutler and Morris.
Yeah, they're flying.
Yeah, they are. It's like they lit the rocket boosters on that.
Those two are going to be in a pretty good position too, because they're not too far behind the rest of these trucks ahead of them that have less pressure tires.
So for all you out there that don't know what's going on, our producer is reading off what the Midwest states are, and Texas is not one of them. And everyone I named was. Wow. Lee is smart. One day you will believe this, Zach.
Look here, okay.
I'm not just another pretty face, you know.
You guys insult me now. I'm gonna have to go cry in my corner. I'll be back.
So Robert, while he's away, if you could give Collie a call real quick.
He's in the Midwest. No, I'm just kidding. He's in the real West.
The Wild West.
Wild West. Here's, well, that's Las Vegas too. Las Vegas is West. So.
Yeah.
It's not Midwest.
So Aiello Jr. has moved back to 9th position. And he has Justin Murphy 4/10 of a second back behind him. So that strategy not working out like you said there, Zach.
Yeah, just not going to play out the way he wants it to. But, I think when he pitted, he's got a hornet nest of the 48 and the 18 passing by him here now on the front. 3 wides to go down to turn 1, actually, for that position. But, yeah, not going to play out the best for him there. But, you know what? He tried something, and it could have worked.
Back in all that mess. He's running in 11th position. He's been strong all day.
Yeah, he's been strong really all day. Started from that pole position, but pull this off here. As I believe now we have 16 to go here, and Stunard with about a 1.7 second lead here. As behind that, it's starting to stack up behind Fensler here for the second position now with Earhart, Huffstutler, and Morris that they pitted later.
Yeah, so they have all got to catch this leader a little bit, see if we can give Stunner a run for his money, as they are single file across the start-finish line. It is 15 to go here at Las Vegas with the Underdog Racing League here on Freaky Fast Broadcasting. Lee Tidwell, Zach Hall, and odds himself, Robert Moya, here with you this afternoon. What'd I do?
We're confused up here. Don't worry. You guys, we got a cat out here.
Of course we're picking on. See, I couldn't tell because Robert has this pinned shop freaky fast, so I couldn't see the chat. But yeah, we're picking on Robert again. That's what we do. Morris now down to the inside of Earhart. Morris will overtake that third position and now looking to try maybe chase down Fensler. The difference between Stunnard and Fensler now down to 1 second.
Wow.
So they're starting to chop away at that lead with 13 to go, but they got to stay in a line. Because Earhart is now losing lots of room. Morris making a run to Fensler. Morris says, I don't need your help. I'll just do it myself. Goes to the outside of Fensler, going into 3. Fensler will now hug that bottom line. Morris will try to make the top line work back behind them. Hubstutler will move into 4th position around Earhart. Racing it down to the start-finish line. Morris to the high side will be in 2nd position. Fensler 3rd. Hubstutler 4th. Earhart in 5th. Walterman 6th. Baker 7th. Alves 8th. Loveland 9th. And Murphy will be in 10th position. Into 1 and 2. And to run down Stunnard. That distance is less than a second. Morris is 7/10 now.
Nate Morris is he's gonna be there. We got 11 to go, but he's gonna get there. I think within the next, I'd say 2 to 3 laps, he's gonna blow that back bumper.
And then what can Hubstutler do is he's trying to chase down Fensler now as well. As you said, 11 to go here with the Underdog Racing League at Las Vegas. Stunnard with now a half-second lead over Nate Morris.
Man, oh man, it's gonna get close here, and Jason Fensler's gonna have a tough time holding off, like you said, Hubstutler there. So he's got about 3 lap fresher tires than that 5 ahead of him. So the 5, man, oh man,
Morris with a run. My goodness, one of those famous Nate Morris runs off of 2, as he is now drove to the back bumper of Stunnard, going into 3 and 4. Nate Morris out of 4. Looks to the high side, looks to the low side, back to the high side, gets his nose to the high side. Now we'll race door to door with Stunnard going into 1 and 2. Nate Morris has been strong all night long, and watch his see ya, wouldn't want to beat ya down the backstretch, and new leader with 9 to go.
Wow, what a pass there. And I tell you what a strategy call, because Nate Morris, I think he played the tire strategy exactly right. Like I said, stretch it a little bit farther than these guys ahead of you. Use the trucks around you to draft back up to him. Now he's up in the lead with 8 to go, and everything in behind him is getting smaller.
Position Hubstutler and Earhart. Hubstutler's going to be stuck to the high side, trying to get that run like Morris did. But I tell you what, Hubstutler was running down Fensler until about on the inside, looking to jump into that 4th position. And now you've got Baker too. He doesn't mind them battling one bit. It gives him the opportunity to close that gap, as you see him do it there in 3 and 4.
Look at Fensler. He's getting by Stunnard here. That second
Fensler.
Yep,
Go for it.
Second now. 5 car up here with 5 to go. What a pass there. For the 5 machine.
So Fensler moves into 2nd, Stunnard back to 3rd. Door to door is Hubstutler and Earhart. And then Baker will be right behind them. 6 to go. When we cross the line, now 5.
5 to go, and I tell you what, Nate Morris doesn't want to see a caution. That's really what he doesn't want to see. As look at that battle, man. Whew.
Don't want to see a caution, but this one.
That's for sure.
Earhart will stay down low. Hubstutler is looking to block him down. Now here comes Baker to the high side. That is, once again, a battle for 4th, 5th, and 6th. And Baker now going to have the run on Earhart. Woo, that door touch. Little door touchy there. Kiss, kiss.
Just a little high five and a little kissy kiss, you know? Nothing wrong. Man, Earhart's going to fall back another position here, Lee. So that's going to lose him another spot there. Ian Baker did a great job on his final run here, saving his stuff, and he might even have a chance for Hubstutler here to get a top 4.
Yeah, he's looking down to the inside of Hubstutler now, coming out of 4. It will be 3 to go when we cross the line. Baker looking to work his way back up. He has been in, I don't want to say in contention to win all night, but he has been in contention to have a podium finish all night, and he is looking to chase that down 3 laps. Does he have enough to not only get around Huffstutler, but chase down Stunnard and make that podium?
That would be some type of a comeback here in these final laps here. Nate Morris exiting 4 this time. Will be 2 to go. Don't think he'll have enough time here to catch these guys.
Loveland and Walterman back behind them. They're battling for 7th and 8th position. Walterman to the high side and Loveland on the low side.
Great battle here. There's Nate Moore. One final time here for Underdog Racing League.
Earhart and Baker door touch coming out of 4. Here we go. Final lap. Nate Morris just says, I am going to cruise around. I am not going to wreck myself. Finsler in a strong second, then Stunnard. Then you got Huffstutler. Earhart coming out of 3 and 4. And that looks like we're going to shake it out as it stands. Morris, Finsler, Stunnard, Huffstutler, Earhart, Baker, Loveland, Walterman, Nick Alves, and the number 7 of Brent Somers rounds out the top 10, Zach.
Yes, sir. Great race again here tonight for round number 9 of the Underdog Racing League's Truck Series here. Nate Morris pulling off his first victory of the season. Congrats to him, man.
Yeah, excellent performance by Nate Morris. Excellent. And getting set to see Nate Morris have a little bit of victory celebration, so to speak.
Yes, sir. We're going to light him up here and do a little victory celebration here in the Sin City of Las Vegas.
Nothing better than doing donuts at Vegas unless you're on the strip.
Yeah, that's not a good place to do them unless it's, I guess, banquet week for NASCAR, which is in Nashville now.
Yeah, and they do burnouts on Broadway. It's crazy.
Yeah, definitely. That would be fun to watch. But congrats, Nate Morris, and yeah, what a great race.
Outstanding race. Ladies and gentlemen, what we're going to do is we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to have your top 3 finishers, Morris, Finsler, when we come back here on Freaky Fast Broadcasting and the Underdog Racing League. We'll be right back.
All right, we are back, everybody, here for our post-race interviews at the Underdog Racing League. As we got our top 3 finishers here tonight of Justin Stunnard, Jason Finsler, and Nate Morris. What a great race here again at the Underdog Racing League. First, we're going to bring up Justin Stunnard, who after leading a bunch of laps here tonight, Unfortunately, came up third. Hey, Justin, Zach up in the booth. You got second top 5 of the season here through 9 races. And I tell you what, they knew the 33 car.
Fantastic. It was not easy to pass, so track position was everything. And it came down to that final pit strategy and didn't quite work out for me.
Yeah, alluding to that pit strategy, like you said, it was such a track position race there. And you decided to pit a little bit earlier than most of the drivers around you. Do you think that is what come back to bite you into the things?
I think a little bit. My plan for the entire race was to split everything into thirds. Obviously I'm going to come in after the stage and then 40-40 and just work it that way. I went a couple extra laps just because I was still in the lead, but in my head I was like, the second I get past, I'm going to pit. And in the end, Nate with 3. It's the right direction for where I want to go this season.
Definitely is, man. Well, congrats on third here tonight, Justin, and leading a bunch of laps, man. It was very, very fun for us up in the booth. But before we let you go, man, anybody want to send a shout out to?
Oh, week in and week out, they make it entertaining. So these are my guys, and I love it.
Awesome stuff, Justin, man. Well, congrats on the third place finish here tonight, man, and we will catch you next week.
Thanks, boys. Thanks for all you do.
No problem, man. You have a great night.
Yep, you too.
All right, that was Justice Stunnard, our third place finisher here tonight. But now we'll move on to our second place man, Jason. Well, Jason, man, I tell you what, the beginning portion of this race, and really actually even the beginning after the stage there, it didn't seem like you couldn't miss something there because, I mean, everything was just happening right in front of you, and it seemed so. How was the racing out there, and how'd you get back to that second place position?
Yeah, it felt like I had a magnet on my truck. But, yeah, I didn't start off very good. But I knew I had good speed. I just couldn't catch any brakes. But late in the race, it turned out pretty good. We had good pace. I wanted to pit a little bit later than Justin did, but I got kind of stuck behind him when he was pitting. So I went ahead and went with that strategy, and it didn't pay off. But Nate drove a good race, and I'm actually really happy with the second after the way it started.
Yeah, it was definitely a great race. Like you said, great way to come back to second at the way it started. And like you said, I was going to ask you about the pit stop, but that was a great explanation there from yourself about, getting stuck in behind the 33 of Justin and kind of having to pit there without losing, a crazy amount of time. So, yeah, like you said, wanted to pit a little bit later. It seemed to play out for those guys for that. So, yeah, unfortunately, man, I tell you what, you definitely had the long run pace there. Now, I watched you all night long. It just clicking off lap times later in those runs that were very, very competitive. And next week we head to Milwaukee, which is personally, one of the bumpiest, weirdest, mild racetracks that we go to. And I think it's, going to be an interesting race. So, what's your feelings going into the next week in Milwaukee?
I've had pretty good luck there in the past in regular iRaces, but we'll see what happens. These guys have gotten a lot faster the last few weeks, so we'll just try and take care of our tires in the race.
Well, man, I tell you what, you do a great job of that each and every week, so I wouldn't expect nothing less next week at Milwaukee. But again, congrats here on the second place finish here tonight. Your 8 top 5 of the season, so you continue on that roll there through the first 9 races, having 8 top 5s and 3 wins to your name. So congrats on that, man. And anybody wants to shout out to you before we let you go?
I'd just like to thank Justin for everything they do with the league. Trevor, all those guys, they do a great job. You guys do a great job with the broadcast every week. Family tunes in every week, so it's pretty cool to see.
Awesome stuff, Jason, man. Well, congrats on second here tonight, and we'll catch you next week in Milwaukee, man.
All right, man. Thank you very much.
You have a great night.
You too.
All right, that was Jason Finsler, your second place finisher tonight. Your points leader also. So great run for himself, but it is Zach up in the booth. Nate, you got a copy.
Yeah, what's going on?
Hey, man. Well, what a great run for yourself tonight to pull off the victory here, to get your first win of the season. How does that, first of all, feel?
It feels awesome. I ran into a couple hiccups when I was dominated there at Bristol, and it felt nice to finally get one.
Yeah, like you said, definitely had a dominating race there at Bristol and just had a few hiccups, like you said. So good to get this one back, in your grasps and get that win here at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. It was a great battle before we went to that pit stop sequence. You had 7 trucks like really right on top of each other. You were looking to take the lead on the outside. The 33 and the 5 elected to pit and hit pit road there, and you and 4 other trucks elected to go a little bit farther. Was that always the plan to go a little bit farther, or once they kind of decided to pit, then did it change your strategy up at all?
I didn't really have a strategy going into it. It's just I knew when everybody started pitting, I saw everybody behind me. I was gonna wait till everybody behind me kind of pit, so I didn't get caught up in anything like getting on the pit road. And when I eventually did pit, I almost spun coming on the pit road. I was sideways there for a second, so I was able to keep her straight, and it ended up working out.
It definitely did, man. You did a great job there to pull that strategy off, pitting a little bit later, had the fresher tires in, and made it look easy there, getting them passes done to pull off the victory here tonight. Great race for yourself here at Las Vegas, getting your first win. But next week we head off to the Milwaukee Mile. That's a tough racetrack. How do you think you're going to fare there?
I'm gonna have to buy it first and then get some practice in and see how it goes. But yeah, I always like the more shorter tracks, more hard braking. That's usually more my style, so I'm probably looking forward to it.
Well, man, I tell you what, it's a very tough track, so have fun learning that place. It's always a tricky one, so we'll have to catch that next week, Nate. But again, congrats on your win here tonight. Anybody wants to send a shout out to before we let you go, man?
Yeah, let's give a shout out to just all my family. We got a big winter storm here, and everybody's been cooped up in the house, and tensions are starting to run high. But just give a shout out to all the family here. So.
Well, Bud, thank you very much. Great win here tonight, and hope it gets better for you with the storms in this winter, man. And we'll see you next week in Milwaukee.
All right, appreciate it. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, have a great night, Nate. All right, that was Nate Morris, your race winner here from the Underdog Racing League in the 22 machine. What a victory it was for himself tonight, pulling off his first victory of the season. It was a great race overall, but now we'll head to our race results, where we can see where your favorite drivers ended up here tonight at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. First going to be Nate Morris in that 22 machine. Second's going to be points leader Jason Finsler. Third is going to be Justin Stunnard. Fourth, Sean Hustutler. Rounding out your top five is going to be Trevor Earhart. Sixth is going to go to pole setter Ian Baker. Seventh is James Loveland. Eighth, Dylan Walterman in the 46th. Ninth is Nick Alves. And rounding out your top 10 will be Brett Somers in that 7 machine. 11th is going to go to Parker Johnston. 12th, Mike Aiello Jr. 13th, Jake Williams. 14th, Tony Bard. 15th, Justice Murphy. 16th is Brad Ringer. 17th, Kevin Orlando Jr. 18th, John Magner. 19th on the last car on the lead lap is Dennis Steele. 20th is going to go to Scott Kerberg. 21st, Christopher Heights. 22nd, Matt Jobe. 23rd, David Buell. 24th, Peyton Presley. 25th is going to be Lance Durham. And rounding out your field in the 26th position is going to be the 00 of Michael Simmons. As that is your race results tonight here from the Underdog Race League from the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. What a fantastic race it was here tonight for round number 9. Very fun to see a first-time winner, and it was a pleasure to call it here tonight. Any final thoughts for yourself, Lee?
I got to go pay a blackjack dealer.
They're going to be looking for Lee after this race, so we got to get him out of here and get him quickly to the casino here in Las Vegas. So we'll have to definitely wrap it up here, but we're going to send it up to Robert Moyer Jr. now to close out tonight's broadcast.
All right. Well, good calling, guys. Thank you, everybody out there on YouTube and Facebook for tuning in. We do much appreciate it. As Lee Tidwell's going to pack his stuff up and head to the casinos real quick and make sure he gets that bill paid. I'm not paying it there, sir. You're the one that got yourself into this predicament. You get yourself out of it. Anyways, but we'll catch everybody this Sunday, actually, as we'll have Lee Tidwell and Zach Hall back in the booth, 6:30, with the General and Racing iRacing League as we go live, like I said, at 6:30. So everybody have a great week. Be safe with the storms. We got some winter storms come rolling through here. Big snowstorm on the East Coast, and everybody that's in down by Lee and down south in Texas, everybody please be safe. But until then, we'll talk to everybody later. God bless everybody. Love yous all. Peace out.
Bye, guys.